This is my profile. So I am just running my own company, which is basis on the AI design and development. I am working with the UK and the US clients, just developing their AI products. Apart from that, I'm just associated with the Read My course as an instructor. As sorry for this. Sorry, wait. Apart from that, I completed my education from IIT Madras, and maybe I don't know how many of you just are familiar with the Six Sigma things. I completed my black belt from IIT Kharagpur and green belt from Indian Statistical Institute, and I'm serving lots of projects with the government also, with the DIPP also. And if you are just familiar with the CII, it's a Confederation Indian Industry. I'm also a member. uh, if you really want to just go, और आपको अगर जानना है, then you can just type on the Google related to the CI thing, then you can understand. Then this is all my profile, so you can understand okay about the instructor, what the academic, what are the things, and how just things is going on. Now come to the most important part, which is the today's agenda. So the first thing is that why are we talking about data science? Because let's suppose today most of you are fascinating towards the data science. What is the reason behind it? Why are we talking? Then why we learn data science? Let's see, we talk about the data science, then what is the need to go into the data science? Why we need to learn? Then what is data science? Maybe you can understand. uh, some of you are from not the field from the data science, so that's why I'm just taking that concepts. So what is data science? I hope you already just type on the Google, you already familiar these things, but maybe we will in the webinar we will strive to understand what is data science in layman terms. Then flow of data in data science, like how just occur that data in the field of the data science. Let's suppose where the data comes, where it goes, we will see that these things. Then there are lots of terminologies is going on in the market, especially maybe I don't know, Javed, you are in the USA or in different company, but lot of sort of things is going on is related to the data engineer, data analyst, data scientist. So what are these terminologies, and how, what is the difference between them? What skills are really required to becoming data scientist? If you are non-technical, then definitely there is a skepticism is going on, maybe there's some apprehension. Should I go for data science if I'm not from technical background? Then we will strive to find an answer in this webinar. Then industrial application, what are the various industrial application, how the companies are using the data science. Got it? So this is the today's agenda, guys. So now let's start. Why are we talking about data science? So now, before to come into the why are we talking, then you can understand in today's era there is a evolution of technology. Maybe if you in the era of 1990s, then you can understand at that era there was a telephone phone which is connected with a wire. This is a landline phone. There is no source of the data creation. Maybe you, the phone, the purpose was merely just to connect with your different one, maybe in the different city, maybe in the different state, you just connected through the telephone. But in today's era we are using smartphones, means we are creating data. If you are browsing on over the internet, if you are watching some content over the YouTube, if you are using social media, if you are uploading your pics, maybe your videos on the Instagram, maybe on different sources, so means is that you are creating data in today's era. So data is everywhere. We are just, I can say, we uh, data is here, there, everywhere is the data. So we are just encompasses towards the data. So that's why we are talking about the data science. Now come to the part which is the cloud services. In the 90s, you can understand that time the size was, the desktop was very big, and let's suppose if I want to store any kind of data, then at that time there was a floppy drive which is maybe a size of kbs. But in today's era we are using the cloud services. Maybe you are in USA, maybe I am in Bengaluru, it doesn't matter, we can store our data on the cloud and we can access from anywhere. It doesn't matter. Definitely there are some services, there's a company behind it who are providing that storage devices virtually, but we are living in this cloud era, so there is no need to worry or to just set up your server physically. You have to maintain that cost. No, we are living that cloud era, so that definitely we can understand. Similarly, the cars, we are living in the era of the hybrid car, in the is smart car, driverless car like the Tesla. So definitely every car which is related to the driverless, we have to train our car basis on the data. Maybe if the car seeing some object in front of the, then automatically brake has to apply. So these things are related to the data. So definitely I can say in the today's era, every device is creating a data. Means we are encompasses ourselves with the data. That's why we are talking about the data. Data is everywhere. Data is, I can say, universal currency. Similarly, there are IoTs. I don't know how many of you are familiar from IoTs thing, but definitely it is very, very important, especially in the Bengaluru, maybe if you are in the USA or the UK. So there electrical appliances you can regulate by the help of apps. So again, you are creating a data. Let's suppose if you have an air conditioner and you are regulating through your app, maybe in the summer, you need more of your air conditioner, but maybe in winter, there is no need. So means that you are creating a data. So we can generalize the data. Okay, maybe I'm talking about my perspective, maybe in the north region, especially in the Delhi. So let's suppose in the summer region, population will use that app air conditioner in the summertime, but if I'm going to be winter, people are not using. So I can also understand the data which is related to the IoT. Similarly, I can regulate my electrical appliances. Maybe I can just switch on, switch off my fan, lights through the IoT. So we are creating data again. Similarly, in the social media, we can say we are uploading our pics every single second. So we are creating data. We are texting a tweets over the Twitter, creating data, uploading videos on the YouTube, creating data. So data is everywhere. Now the question comes, when data is everywhere, so there is a requirement of a person who can give that insights to you. Otherwise, it is just like a drainage of the wealth, because I can say if you don't have that people who can give the insights, who can just do the analysis and give the better information how the trending is going on, then what is the use of the data? So that's why we are talking about the data science. I hope all of you are able to connect with me, yes or no? I hope Javed, Hemant, Siddhi, I hope so.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Yes, it's very interesting. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Great. So means that that's why we are just talking about these things. Similarly, other factors I can say now is, today we are living in the globalized world. So everything is connected with the era of the internet. Whether you are in the banking and the finance, maybe you are in the USA and you are just in the banking or the finance industry, but you want to launch your own kind of subsidy in India. So definitely you have to just need that kind of internet source. Again, there is a need of the data. So if you don't have that data, whether you should open your kind of branch in which city or in which state, definitely you have to do some kind of analysis. So you can understand there's a healthcare sector, especially in the era of the COVID, you can understand these things are really imperative, because through one kind of data, you can predict whether this particular patient is suffering from COVID or not. Definitely there is a report. So if you have that kind of report, if you have extra and you are just making maybe you are working as a data scientist, so by the help of X-ray, you can predict. No need to go to the doctor, really, especially even in India, in the Bengaluru also, we made that kind of model. So through this kind of images, you can predict whether this person is suffering from COVID or not. Definitely there's a factor which is related to the sensitivity, specificity, but we can do these kind of artificial intelligence kind of product we can make through the data science. So that's why everyone is just looking for the data science, whether it is government, whether it is transportation, in insurance company. In the today's era, you can understand people are just making false claim, especially in the insurance industry, and you can understand millions of people are making these kind of things. So how will you predict whether this particular person is making false claims or not? It is really very tedious thing to hire a physical person and just you have to do some kind of KYC through a physical person. But if you have that kind of artificial intelligence, then you can do the same task very efficiently with less time. So that's why we are talking about the data science. That's the most application you can understand. Now question comes, why we learn data science. So I have already explained. Now you can connect this particular dot, why we learn data science. Can anyone tell me why we learn data science? Because I have already explained these things.
To analyze the data.
Okay, okay,
Because data, what we're getting is probably most of the raw form. We need to make it a sense of out of it. That's why
okay,
we need to learn the data science.
okay, okay. I can understand. So Hemant, what's your perception? Would you like to add something? So I want to tell about my things. Maybe as a Javed said, because to analyze the thing, but maybe especially I'm not humiliating any kind of person or maybe the circumstances of the geographic location. But generally in India, people are looking for any course to get the job in the market. So once we do that kind of data science course, then we will get the job in the market, maybe the good I can say the good hike we will get. So definitely it is associated with the things. But my passion, I'll tell you why I'm just teaching these things, or maybe why I'm just into the field of the data science, because it is my just kind of passion, because I want to do something which is related to the artificial intelligence. I was in just IIT because I dropped IIT Bombay and then I joined IIT Madras. Then you can understand, because IIT Madras is really very, very great hub, especially for the artificial intelligence. So the thing is that, especially this slide is especially for I can say Indian students. The reason is behind that, there's a fast becoming and the I can say the sexiest job of the 21st century. So there are lots of job opportunities in the market. So that's why we learn data science. I can understand that's a very kind of frivolous statement, especially for those who really wants to seek in the data. They want to do the data science passion. But maybe I have to include this slide, especially for the person who are just greedy about the jobs. So that's why we learn data science, because data science is everywhere. It's the new oil. It's the fast becoming most sought after professionals. There are lots of job openings. It's going on, especially in the USA company, even in the UK, even in the Indian company, they are looking for the data science. And I have already explained why these things are really imperative, because every company in the today's digital era, we are work from home. It doesn't mean we are work from home so we are not creating data. We are creating our data in leap and bounds. So we need that kind of person who can do that kind of analysis. Let's suppose Javed is working for any company and his company is very conscious about their working hours. So they want to do some kind of analysis about their working shifts. So those people who are working in the morning shift, are they more efficient, or those persons who are working in the night shift, are they more efficient? So through this kind of work, they are working online. So definitely they can do some kind of analysis basis on that. So that's why we learn the data science. That's a beauty. I can say that's a necessity of the data scientist in today's world. So lots of job portals, you can see job openings is going on, and these are the things you can just go to the Google and you can find it these things. So this is just all about the data science thing, why we learn and why we talk about the data science. And there is a circle which is related to the percentage of the jobs are in the sector of the analytics, software, consulting, financial services, education and research, advertising and publishing, construction. So you can see in every sphere, it doesn't matter, because every sphere is associated with the data. And if any person able to get the insight from the data, they can work. So now come to the part, what is data science? So data science is a combination of two words. I'm just making this webinar is in very simple format. No need to go for kind of professionalism. We will do this kind of professionalism in the classes, because you are from non-technical. So that's why I'm just presenting my things in a layman term. So before to go into the data science, there's a two word. One word is the data and there's another word is science. Anyone can tell me what is data? Yes, please. What is data?
It's any kind of information which is in the raw form, which we collect,
Okay.
which is not made understandable. Then we make it as understood, which is information.
Okay. So let's see. Anyone? Is Navadeep? Sorry for my mispronunciation. So I'll tell you. So data is any information that can be in the form of graph, maybe in the form of text, maybe in form of figures, but you need an electronic device that can be stored. So let's suppose you are just celebrating, maybe there is a celebration is going on in your home related to any kind of festival, and you want to just capture all kind of, I can say, the memories through your camera. So definitely you need some electronic device where you can store these kind of pics, and the pics is related to the celebration which is going on in your home related to the festival. So means here you are creating a data again. Let's suppose if you're just making, or if you're just transferring that data to the cloud, then there is a kind of, say, you can, there is a virtual server you can store there also. But again, you have to put a name. There's a celebration images, you can say. So data is any information, is any in any format you can be just extracted through the information. What would you get? You get the some kind of tidings which is related to the celebration. Similarly, if you are just making a library which is related to your favorite music or the kind of songs, there's a playlist, then you can just store your playlist maybe on app. So again, if you are using some kind of apps which is related to the playlist of the song, then they can easily track what is your genre, what is the genre of listening the songs. So again, through the data, there is some kind of, I can say, technology who just strive to understand your trends is going on. So there is a data. And now come to the part which is science. So I'll just simply ask one question. God is exists in this universe? Is it? Yes.
Yes,
Anyone?
yes, as I believe.
Can you please prove it?
I think the first thing is there must be someone who's controlling everything which we
Okay.
cannot, like in sun, moon,
Okay.
day, night. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
that's one of the proof. Like,
And
and again,
before to start my points, no, please don't need to offend. I can understand it is related to the very, very far kind of thing, but I can understand. I'm not striving to just maybe don't want to hurt your sentiments, but I'm striving to just give my explanation based on the science. So whatever is Javed you said, it is kind of philosophical definition, because I do believe in God. I am a spiritual seeker. I do meditation kind of thing, and literally I'm very spiritual guy also. I do meditation on a daily basis. I do follow all the religious things. But if I'm talking about the perspective of the science tells, do you have any kind of proof? Would you prove it? Definitely we
yeah,
can say yes or no, because the reason is behind that. Philosophically we can prove it, but scientifically definitely we don't have that kind of, I can say, the testimonials thing. So what is the meaning of the science? So science tells, if you have, I'm just taking the simple example so you everyone can relate. Maybe in your school days, there's a laboratory, and the laboratory you have to perform some tests, and basis on the some mathematical calculation you have to apply it on your test. Basis on that mathematical calculation, you will get a result, and when you will get the result, then you can say that yes, it is evidently proved. So according to the science, if you have some kind of hypothesis, by the help of the algorithm you have to prove it. That is called a science. When I combine these two terms, which are data and the science, now you can understand. You have the data, you have the statistic, you have the coding. So data is just kind of apparatus which was in your laboratory. Then at that time when you perform some tests, so you can understand in the apparatus takes the position of the data. You have the data of any kind of thing. Maybe there's some Zomato analysis, maybe some e-retail is the Amazon kind of thing. If you have that data, then there is some kind of mathematical thing which is the algorithms, which is the coding. Once you applied these statistical analysis on the data, then you will get some result, and the result you can evidently say that it is proven by me, because I perform that kind of analysis, I perform that kinds of mathematical coding things. because you are not making any kind of statement which is in the air. Kind of, maybe if you won't have that kind of evident, if you won't have that kind of facts, and you are just making your statement like philosophical, I don't know, again, no need to go, because the philosophical, we can just making or we can just giving any statement based on our belief. But science tells in the different aspect. It tells about, if you have that kind of belief, definitely you have to prove it. So data science is not about the things you just make the hypothesis. No, if you make any kind of hypothesis, then in the data science you have to prove it by the help of the statistical, then mathematical things, and you will get the result. Got it, everyone? Are you able to understand what's the data science is in the layman term? I'm not giving any Google definition. I'm not giving any technical definition. Once you understand this definition, which I taught earlier in a few seconds before, then you can understand any definition which is going on over the internet. Everyone, yes or no?
Shan, can you, sorry,
Yes.
again about the science you mentioned, if you don't mind to say it again, because I got a bit distracted, so I didn't get it.
Okay, no issue.
I know the definition, but your way was completely different, like in the way you do this.
Okay, don't worry. I'll tell you again, and it's not a big deal. So science is just what we strive to prove through the evidence. Means, let's suppose if you have any kind of hypothesis, like let's suppose you want to prove water is liquid. So what are the things you have to do? How to prove it? You have to go to the chemistry laboratory, and the laboratory you have to take some apparatus. You have to take the data which is water. So you have to prove it that data which is related to the liquid thing. So again, there is a study which is behind the hydrogen bonding between the molecules, which is HO. So you have to see that hydrogen bonding is present in the molecule, or I can say there is a compound which is H2O, then applying some mathematical algorithms which is related to the explanation hydrogen bonding. If you see that hydrogen bonding in the molecule, then you can say this is a liquid. So you have to prove it by the help of some explanation which is given by the hydrogen bonding. You have to take the data as a hydrogen or take the data as a water. So similarly, in the data science, data is just kind of, you can understand the apparatus. Means if you have the data and you have the power of the statistical mathematical algorithms. So if you have the data, you have to apply your statistical algorithms, mathematical algorithms, and by the help of writing the codes, then you will get the result. And the result you can show to the society, I have evidently proved through the data science, because it is not just kind of thing making the false statement in front of the society without having any evidence. But in the data science, you have to prove these things by the help of the facts. Got it, Javed?
Yes, thank you very much. I really got it now very nicely in my mind. So thanks a lot.
So now come to the part, what is data science? These are the definition which is going on over the internet. Now you can understand what I said. Data science is an interdisciplinary field which use scientific methods, processes, algorithm to extract knowledge, insight from structured and unstructured data. In today's era, definitely there is a structured era, there is an unstructured era. So unstructured data means that, let's suppose there's a data which is related to the images. Sorry for my bad handwriting. Let's suppose if you have a data which is in the format of pics. So I call it as unstructured data. Means this data is in the form of the pixels. There's a pixel in the width and the height form. So I have to say this unstructured data means I have to extract any information. Before to extract any information, firstly I have to convert into the pixel, then I can understand, okay, what's the reason behind it. So that's why I call it unstructured data. So every data which is related in the video, let's suppose I want to do some kind of video analysis through the AI. So definitely video is just all about the unstructured things. I have to just get the information through the AI. Definitely it's really very easy to you. But let's suppose if I'm giving thousands of videos to you and you have to predict the genre of your video. Can you do it? No, it's really a big deal to you. Maybe I can say in a day you have to see all your videos, thousands of video, and thereafter you have to predict the genre of your video. It's really a very big task, but through the AI we can do it in a very easy manner. So that's the power of the data science. So unstructured data, whether if I get the data in the video, whether if I get the data in the audio format, in the pic format, it is unstructured data, or maybe in the text format also. Let's suppose if I'm extracting some data on the Twitter, and basis on the Twitter I have to do some kind of Twitter sentiment analysis, then I can say it is a text data, it's unstructured data. But what is structured data? Let's suppose there is a data which is related to this apartment in Bengaluru. Let's suppose there is a real estate company who wants to sell their apartment to the customers. So they make there some kind of data, which is name of the customer. There's a location where apartment place, their square feet area, there's a sales price, and there's a BHK, means how many rooms and the bedroom and the kitchen available in the flat. So you can understand, let's suppose I'm taking Javed and Ishank, let's say these some customers, and they are residing in Banashankari, Whitefield, and Marathali. Flat area is 1200, Ishank flat area is 900, and let's suppose Siddhi flat area is 1800. And the sales price of that particular flat is 1.2 crore, and the Ishank is, I can say, is 90 lakhs, and it is all over 2 crores. BHK is 3, is 2, and 5. So through this data, you can understand there is a trend behind it related to the square foot and the BHK and the price and the location also. So this is the structured data. When you see the data, you can easily predict about the trends. This is the structured thing. When you have the data in the structure format, then you can say the structured data. When you data in the videos, audios, so means that if you have audio, if you have video, firstly you have to convert into the format of the different one, then you will get the some insight from it. But if you have the data, then simply you can get the information through the just simply a one glance, or just simply a glance over it, then you can extract the information. I can say the structured data. Now you can understand these things, and we will do these things comprehensively in the batch. No need to worry. So I'm just giving a simple glance over it so you can easily connect these things. So these are the definitions over the data science, what is data science, how the things are going on, and there are lots of definition, extraction of knowledge. Then you can understand, we have already discussed these things, so you will find these definition over the internet also. What I said about the data science in the layman term, this was my definition, but that definition you got over the internet also. So now come to the part which is AI. It is the most fascinating. I hope so before to come this course you done lots of research. AI is very popular in the today's era, and it doesn't matter irrespective of the geographic locations, especially in India. I can say it is now trending, but maybe I can say in the US it was in 1980s. So what is AI? AI is the artificial intelligence. Anyone can tell me what is AI based on your own perception? What is AI? Yes, anyone? Yes, please. What is AI? I hope so everyone knows what is AI.
It is artificial intelligence which can make decisions based on the information what we give it to the system or whatever, and may see the trends of the data and make a decision what to do.
Okay, great. Anyone else? Anyone else? Would you like to add some spices over the statement of Javed? Anyone? Ali, Siddhis, Navdeep, would you like to add? Yes,
like
please.
a procedure in which we take a lot of data, then proceed through algorithm, then we output some predictions.
Okay. It's great. Okay. Now I'll tell you what is AI. We will strive to understand in a very layman terms again. So AI is a artificial intelligence. We have intelligence. We are human. We have human intelligence. Then what is the meaning of the artificial? So there is a word which is artificial. I can say, wait. Artificial. So means is that I'm just creating a machine who can take the decision independently, intelligently, efficiently without having human intervention. So I'm giving that power to a machine by the help of algorithms. There are lots of algorithms we will see later, because we today in the today's webinar we are talking about some terminologies going on in the market. So means I'm just giving that power to a machine. You can take your own decision, no need to just my intervention, no need to just get into the intervention during the processing. You can take your decision, because I know you can take your decision efficiently, intelligently and independently. That is called AI. How to do it? No need to worry, I'll tell you. I hope all of you got it. What is AI? Yes, everyone.
Yes, yes, sure.
Now question comes again. If human is more intelligent, and we all know, and we are really kind of exaggerating ourselves, we are more intelligent than machines, then what is the need of the AI? We are creating machines, we are giving that power to the machine, then what is the need of the AI? Now it's your call. Anyone, what's the need of the AI? Let's suppose we are just creating, we are just kind of creators. God is creator, God is more power than us, then definitely that's why we are adoring. But similarly we are creating machine, then what is the need of the AI? Yes, anyone?
I think to make the jobs easier, to make it automated, like, and to
Great,
reduce the human effort.
great. That's a real, I can say the real statement. The need of the AI is that multitasking. Human are more intelligent, but they are not multitasker. Let's suppose if I'm giving 10 operation, can you do it simultaneously? No, you cannot do it, because you have some limitations. But in the machine, you can give that power to the machine. Machine can do hundreds of operation at the same time. So that's a beauty. That's why we are looking for the AI in the today's era. Because let's suppose if you are just driving a car, at the same time when you're driving a car, you feel sleepy, there is a trouble to you, you will face an accident. But let's suppose because the same time you're sleeping and you're driving a car, there's a controversial things, you are doing two operations at the same time and you are not a multitasker. But machine can do, really machine can do the 10 tasks. There is a driverless car, machine can do it by the help of just simple modeling, simple kind of things, just training the model, training my car on the different circumstances. Machine can take 10 decisions at the same time, but we cannot do. That's why we need that kind of AI. We are striving to automate our things, because in the today's era we can see we are just striving to utilize our time to those things which are really, I can say, imperative for the future things. So that's why I just striving to make a robot who will do some unproductive work or can do also productive work. But I am want to utilize myself in those work who are really imperative for my society. So I'm just allocating some work to my robot. That's why artificial intelligence, they can take their own decision independently basis on my kind of training of things. So if I segregated AI, there is a one thing which is the pattern learning. I hope all of you heard about the machine learning, or everyone talks about the machine learning in the market. In today's webinar, we will strive to understand what is the machine learning, how the machine learning works. So there is a one thing where there is a heading which is related to the pattern learning. So now we will strive to understand what is pattern learning. Wait. I'm just sorry. So now there is a case study of Walmart, and you can understand that study especially in the US, when Halloween comes, then the sales of the cookies will be augmenting. So means that there is a trend. Let's suppose, okay, especially if you are talking about the perspective of India, then you can understand when Diwali comes, the people are striving to purchase more items related to the crackers, related to the religious things, especially when you associated in any festival. Let's suppose if you're celebrating any religious festival, then you are just striving to purchase more things, especially in the US also. So Walmart do that study basis on the trends or going on, especially in the US. So they look after these things. Okay, Halloween comes, so we have to manage that inventory in our retail sector. Otherwise, our item will be out of stock. So basis on that pattern, if you have that data and you can do that kind of a study, then you can manage your inventory also. So there is a pattern, there is a correlation behind it. When the festival comes, sales of the cookies will be increasing. Similarly, there is another study also which is done by the Walmart, especially in the US. When the hurricane comes, then the sales of the strawberry pop tart will be increasing. Similarly, especially you can understand when the any catastrophic condition is announcing by the forecasting of the meteorology department, then you have to strive to hold some kind of groceries in your house, because maybe it's not possible. So again, there is a trend. So trend which is related to the weather catastrophic. So when this kind of catastrophic comes, then you have to think about this kind of groceries item. So Walmart is trying to preserve this inventory so the customer will not face any kind of out of stock. So that's why it is a directly correlation again. Now come to the part which is very more fascinating, and this is the advertising done by social media. So let's suppose, I don't know how many of you just familiar read my course through word of mouth, or maybe you just saw any ad over the social media, then you hear. So again, let's suppose if I'm just talking about this data science thing, so generally the companies are promoting their courses over the social media because people are using social media. Similarly, let's suppose if I'm taking another example, maybe you experience or not. Let's suppose if you're watching any kind of series on the YouTube which is related to the thriller or maybe to the education industry, then you experience after a minute, if you see any ad over the YouTube which is related to your genre which you watched earlier, is kind of thriller, maybe the education. So again, there is a study behind it, there is a pattern behind it. So these pattern bases on the trend of your watching things. So let's suppose we are watching any kind of advertisement, if you are watching, or let's suppose on the social media, if you are texting your text, yeah, you to your friend, I'm just looking for a data science course, and then you experience there are lots of advertising is just popping up on your screen related to the data science, because there is a trend which is related to the text thing, and that's we called as machine learning. Got it? I hope all of you what's a pattern learning means. If you are just doing any kind of analysis basis on your result associated with the pattern behind it. So there is a pattern behind it. Let's suppose in the today's era, you are just making any pattern which is related to the e-retail sector. So people are more kind of fascinating towards the using iPhone. So there is a pattern behind it, and you can analyze that trend. Why people are very fascinating to go for the iPhone, because it is a kind of a standard of living, or I can say it's a standard of symbol, especially in the going on in the metro cities. So if you are living in the metro cities, there's a status of symbol. If you have an iPhone, then people are okay, this guy is really a great standard of living. So that's why people are just going on that patterns is going on. So you can understand there's a pattern learning is called as machine learning. So if I segregated that machine learning into two parts, there is a statistical and there is a deep learning. So now again, just as I have to segregate what is the statistical. So there's a AI part, which is the speech recognition. So if you are just talking with your Alexa, play this song, means Alexa is striving to recognize your speech. How to do it? Basis on the NLP, basis on the AI. Let's suppose if you say, Alexa, play this song. So there's two words which are really important for the Alexa, which is play and song. So Alexa recognize these words and do some kind of statistical analysis, and basis on that, playlist will going on. Again, there is another term which is NLP, which is natural language processing. And you can understand this is very, very, very famous, especially in those days. The AI chatbots. We are just working on the AI chatbot. So let's suppose if you are just texting any text, then you will get a revert back in a single second through AI chatbots. Again, application, there is a Twitter sentiment analysis. Fake news classifier, because in the today's era, there's lots of fake news is just spreading by the kind of culprits. So through the NLP, we can do these kind of analysis. I'll tell you one example which is very, very important. Let's suppose if you want to buy an iPhone through the Flipkart, iPhone 12, but you are little skeptical whether which specification is really best to you, and would you go for iPhone or not? So you just decide. Firstly, you have to go to the reviews and strive to find some reviews, good reviews basis on the specification. Then you will decide whether you have to go for iPhone or not. Okay. Then you go for the Flipkart and just type the iPhone, and the iPhone page come in front of you. But there is an astonished part. You will see there are millions of reviews over the iPhone. Now, how will you decide whether you have to go one by one? There are million of reviews. Maybe there is a month pass, and then you cannot recognize whether you have to go or not, because you have to read one by one each and every review you have to read. It's really very tedious thing. Now you are a data scientist. You think, okay, it's not a big deal for me. I have to make a model. I have to extract that data from the Flipkart website and then make an NLP model. And through the NLP model, I can understand what is the sentiment going on. And you are astonished. And through this kind of technology, you will get a word cloud matrix. Word cloud matrix is that which is related to the best words you will get pertaining to the iPhone. So what are the various specifications? Instead of just getting the whole kind of feedback, no, just you getting that sentiment. There is a camera best quality, there is a cloud service, there is a battery. You are getting these things. So now you can understand through the AI how to make your things with ease. So that's why people are looking for the data scientists in the market. That's why every company just are really very, very fascinating to work on the data scientists. This is the reason why companies are just switching their process to the data scientist, because for the company, one thing is very important, which is the revenues. And through the data science, through the working on the data, if they get the best revenues, then why would they not work on over the data science, over the AI part? That's why they are working. So in the statistical, we are working on the text things. So we have that text, we have to do kind of analysis, then we have to under the statistical learning. Now, again, sorry. There's a deep learning also in the market is going on. So I'm giving that example, face recognition and the object detection. So you can understand face recognition. What is the face recognition? I'm showing by the help of this video. It's time to just watch it carefully. So I hope so all of you understood what is the face recognition. So I made that model for my UK based client, and they were very fascinating to implement the same model on their retail outlets, especially their marts. So those persons who are wearing masks, my model will recognize whether this person is wearing masks or not. If the person is not wearing masks, then make an alarm. This person is not wearing mask, just keep it outside. So you can understand that application. Similarly, there is a face recognition. So he is my friend. His name is Japal. So I want to make a model. Through this model, I can recognize the things. So you can understand there's a color, red color on his face, but my model able to predict who is Japal in both the images. It can easily do it. If you are in the group, it doesn't matter. My model will able to predict who is Japal. And now you can see in the group also, the lots of people who are unknown to for my model, they said unknown and who is Japal. So you can understand the power of that AI, the face recognition, that object detection. So this is the power of the AI. Now I hope all of you can understand these are the things are really important, Javed. So you can understand the applications.
Yes, very much,
Do
Ishan.
you do you
Yeah.
want to just vending any example which is going on in your mind, or any idea what you can do by the help of the object detection or the deep learning things? What are the various things you can do? This is the two example. One is face mask detection and one is face recognition. Any example would you like to give?
Maybe this biometrics.
Okay, like how?
Yeah, when you enter into the any data center or something, either you go eye retina recognition, or
Great,
you go
great,
hand
great.
or thumb.
Great, definitely. So means is that by the help of visual things, so through the visual, my model able to just rectify the retina, and basis on the retina, they will allow to enter into the particular space or not. Simply, it's a deep learning things. Again, there's an application. Maybe I don't know you are in which country, but in UK especially, let's suppose we are driving your car and you are not wearing your seat belt, the camera will capture, and definitely they will put on that fine to your account. Especially in the Bengaluru, also in the some cities in India also, they are just providing that applications. And you can understand there is no need to just put a traffic policeman over the streets, and then they try to understand, okay, whether we have to stop this car or not. Just put a camera over there, over the streets, camera will do their work by the help of the AI. So there are lots of application. Even by the face recognition, object detection, you can easily track the terrorist also. If you have that data, then definitely you can do it with ease. So these are the AI applications, and this is going on in the today's era. So that's why we are talking, we are very fascinating towards the thing. Now come to the part which is the symbolic learning. Symbolic learning is all about the robotics. In the pattern learning, it is all about the static. In the deep learning, it's all about the static, because our model is static. We put a camera, it is a static position. There is no degree of freedom. But if I'm talking about the symbolic thing, it's all about the degree of freedom with the computer vision things. So AI is a pattern learning, machine learning segregated into a statistical deep learning, and symbolic learning is all about the robotic things. So if you're dealing with the robotics, then degree of freedom is there, then there's image detection is there, so you can do just like in human. So that's why there's two parts, symbolic and the pattern. And generally data scientists work on the pattern learning, means there's a symbol, there's not associated with the symbolic. If you want to go for the symbolic, then you have to go for the research thing, because company have the data, and basis on the data you want to just give any insight for the betterment, maybe for creating good revenues for your company, betterment for the society. If you are working with the government, then there is a pattern learning in this thing. So here you can see the schematic view. Artificial intelligence is just like an ocean, and in this ocean there is a machine learning. In the machine learning, there are two islands, which is deep learning and the NLP. So if I just present that kind of presentation which I had, convert it into the schematic view, then you can understand machine learning. There are two parts, statistical and the deep learning. In the deep learning, statistical, there is a NLP, which is the speech recognition, and there is a data scientist. So you are working as a data scientist. It means you are working on the machine learning, you are working on the NLP, you have the knowledge of the deep learning. So that's the purpose of the data scientist. That are the things you have to work upon these skills if you are a data scientist in the market. So these are the things. So you can understand there's a collection of the data, storing the data, processing the data, means you have to process your data in different ways. We will see later, but I'm just giving that simple glance to you so you can understand what are the pipeline in the data science. Then describing the data and then modeling the data. Now we will strive to understand what are the things. So pipelining of the data science, let's suppose if you're working as a data scientist in any company, what is the pipeline behind it? How to just start your project and what are the tools you have to use it till the execution. So there's a business problem. Let's suppose you are a professional, you are working in any you are working in companies, networking also. So again, there is a business problem. If you don't have business problem, then why would you do these kind of studies? There is no need. You are a networking engineer, but if maybe your client is not facing any problem on their server, then there is no need of that kind of networking engineer. So again, there is a problem, so there is a solution also. So first thing is that we have to define that problem. How to do it? By analysis. Like suppose if you are just new in that particular field and if you don't know how to define the problem, then you have to use that methodology, which is by analysis. Then data acquisition, which is kahan se aapko data milega. Let's suppose means that how to get the data. There is a web servers, there's a logs, there are databases through the API. So you can understand, let's suppose if I want to extract the data from your company, and your company has a stipulated server, and I want to work as a data scientist, collaborated with your company, I want to fetch some data, definitely your company won't allow their server to me, because the reason is behind that there are lots of confidential information also present. So we stipulated one API. So through the API, I have to make a request through API. I did this kind of data. Then your company will send that data to the API and I will accept the data. So these are the things, especially in the today's world, most of the companies and the data center are working on APIs thing. So through the API, we will get the data in the JSON format. So data preparation is because let's suppose if you get the data, it doesn't mean you will get the data in very kind of cleaning format. No, 99% of the data you will get in very messy format. Means you have to cleanse the data. 50% of your work, not the 50, I can say, if you go for the factual information, 80% of the work really you have to utilize on the cleaning of the data. So means these are the things which is very important. Then you have to do some kind of exploratory data analysis. Yani means you have to do some analysis basis on that. So let's see, you have data, then you have to do some analysis based on visualization. And don't worry, I'll show some practical project, then you can relate these things according to the pipelining, then you can understand. Then you have to apply some mathematical algorithms by the help of the machine learning technology. Then communication and visualization. If you won't able to just visualizing your thing, then how to just do it? Because data is very big. Maybe 1 lakh rows. You cannot understand what is the thing is going on in 1 lakh rows. So you have to visualize the things. Then deploy and maintain. After making your model, you have to deploy that model for your client on their server, maybe on the cloud. So in today's era, we all know cloud is very famous. So every company is seeking for the cloud services. So in this code, we will deploy means that we are striving to making web app on the cloud. AWS and the Heroku, we will strive to use in this course. So this is just all about the pipeline. So before to start your project, you have to define your business problem. Then you have to data acquisition, where you can get the data. Third thing, when you get the data, then how to cleanse the data. Once you cleanse the data, then you do the exploratory data analysis. Means what are the things are really essential before to make any prediction. What are the various parameters? What is the correlation? How the things are behaving? This is kind of thing you have to do in the exploratory data analysis. Then you have to make a model to predict the things. Let's suppose if you are working in any banking, then the concern in the bank is that NPS. So company just appoint you as a data scientist and you have to make a model basis on the NPS. So which customer will do loan default or not. So you have to make a model whether this customer will do fraud or not in the bank, you can do it as a data scientist. And then once you make, then you can deploy these things on the client server also. You are working as a third party. If you are not direct employee of your company or for your bank, then you have to deploy that model to the bank server. So, or the cloud, not the bank server. It is a just kind of, I can say, outdated term, because you can understand the cloud services is going on. So every company just using the cloud services. So you have to deploy the model on the cloud, on the AWS and the Heroku and the GCP and the Azure. These are the things is going on. So this is all about the pipeline of the data science project. Now we can understand these things through the schematic things. So this is just a flow of data. First, client server. So you can understand data is stored on the client server. Now we have stipulated an API. So I am working as a third party for your company, let's suppose, and your company hired me as a data scientist, and they want to just tackle the issues related to the network things. So what are the clients, what are the various possibilities clients are facing this kind of networking issues? So I need some data. So I stipulated that API, your company is not ready to give the full access of their database. So they stipulated their API between me and your company. And through the API I have requested, I need that kind of features. So API will request to your database, database will send the pertaining data what I had requested. Then I can directly import that data into my server. Then there is a important thing, which is the Python. Let's suppose what I'm just telling to you, you can easily recognize, because the reason is behind that you are good in the communication. If I'm just talking in the Kannada, maybe you won't able to understand it, because you don't have that kind of experience of that language or understanding of that language. Similarly, if I want to communicate with my machine, I need that programming or the coding language. And the name of the coding language is the Python in the today's era, especially in the data scientist. If you are using R, the limitation of the R is that it is a statistical language. It is not kind of, I can say, the full programming language. If you make some model which is based on the computer vision, deep learning, then you can do in the Python. But if you want to do some kind of statistical learning, then R is limited. So that's why Python is very, very famous. Another advantage is that in the Python, if you're working on the Python, the biggest advantage is that it's online open source, I can say. And it is very, very easy as comparatively to the higher programming language. If you don't have the knowledge of the Python or the coding, no need to worry. Even 5 years old kid is working on the Python. Literally, if you won't believe, just you can search it on the Google also. It's very, very easy programming language. The same thing, if you are working on the Java, you have to define classes, you have to write your things into the blocks, but in the Python, it's very, very syntax kind of language. So that's a beauty. That's why it doesn't matter you are humanity, you are from non-technical background, you are from not mathematics background, it doesn't matter. If you have that kind of willingness to do something good, you can do it. It's not a big task. Then once you import, then once you just do your things, then feature engineering, model building, then machine learning algorithm and model deployment. You have to deploy your model on the web or just like a web app. So this is all about the things in our course. We will start from the basic of the Python, like we are just before to make any sentence, how to just read and write alphabets. We are striving to start like this, and you won't believe, especially in my course, I have been teaching for last 3 years with the big institutes. So I have experienced these things also. Those students are not from technical background, especially some of, I can say the name, there is a student in the present batch also, not in the present, in the morning batch, in the present days, whose name is Sonia, and she from not technical background. She completed her graduation from BCom, and you won't believe she's doing so good, especially in the field of the Python. So that's why it's basis on your willingness. If you are really willing to just go for the good things in your life, then definitely Python is not a big obstacle. It's very, very easy. And I'll bet you, especially I'm not bet for the other kind of thing, but I'll bet you, especially in my course, we will start from basic to the advanced level. In the advanced level means that we are also striving to develop some games through the Python, because modular programming is also very, very important. So that's why we designed this course, especially I can say in the consideration of the student demand, which is or the company's demand. So we stipulated these things. So you can understand there's in the data science, there is a pipeline of the things. Now, the term is going on data engineer, data analyst, and the data scientist. So here you can see there's a block, client server. Now you can understand what is the client server, what is API, what is the need of the API, why I write over written over there, R server, Python. So data engineer works only the server side. If you are a data engineer, then you have to worry about the client server. If you are a data analyst, you are working as a data analyst, then you have to worry about the server, R server, how to import the data from our server, how to do the data cleansing, and how to do the exploratory data analysis. But if you are working as a data scientist, then you know each and everything. What is the client server, how to work on APIs, how to fetch the data, how to cleansing the data, how to exploratory data analysis, how to make the model. Once you make the model, how to deploy the model on the client server. So this is the beauty of the data science. That's why you are working as a one-man army, and you can understand why companies are paying high salary to these guys, because you are working as a one-man army. You are working by the help of artificial intelligence. You can do it because you are taking endorsement of AI. You can do it. Same task will be doing by the 10 people. You can do the same task by the help of AI within a single minutes. So that's why the data scientist is in the high in the market. Now come to the skill set. So these are the skill set which is given by IBM. It is not by me. Augment, which is argumentative, judgmental, and the willingness. If you have that kind of things, argumentative means if you see anything, it doesn't mean you are just doing the debate bullshit. No, it is just a thing. If you see anything and you have that kind of ability to find more and more, and basis on the more or more, you just follow the rationalism behind it. So this is called the argumentative. The judgmental means if you see anything, again, you have that kind of decision, you are able to take decisions or not. And third thing, which is very, very important, is the willingness. If you have that kind of willingness, then definitely you can go for any kind of thing. Maybe it is my own perception, my own experience. Field or the degree, it's just a piece of paper. It cannot define your abilities or the, I can say, the capacity. You are willing and you have that kind of, I can say, the dream, then you can go for anything. Otherwise, you can limit yourself if you have that kind of piece of paper, because through the piece of paper, we can just segment it. This is my field, this is your field. But if you have that willingness, then you can go for another field. And you can see lots of the experience, lots of the elite class of the person, or maybe the best example, even you can take the example of the Elon Musk also. He is working in the AI, just reading the books. He hasn't any degree, any particular degree, just reading the books basis on the willingness. They are working on the driverless car, they are working on the SpaceX, at the same time working on the kind of different industries. It doesn't matter. It matters a lot about your willingness. If you have, then definitely you can go for any kind of thing. So this is the thing which is related to the skill sets. So again, if I'm talking about technically things, coding, statistic, and the mathematics. And if you don't have that background in this course, we will start coding from basic to advanced, statistic from basic to the advanced, and the mathematics is just all about the things. If you have that kind of thing, 2 plus 2, if you have that kind of knowledge, divided by 2, multiply by 2, remainders thing, then you can understand the mathematics also. So there are lots of things going on over the internet related to the technologies. Then industrial application. Now you can understand in the healthcare, there is a genomic data acquisition. One of my friend is in USA and he is running his company is Doric Labs. So the purpose of this company is that basis on the DNA, study of the DNA, they are prescribing good medicine to the doctors. Now you can understand, my friend is not a doctor. He completed his BTech from IIT Kanpur and stipulated himself in the USA and then running his company, and he conducted lots of convention in the different countries also. And you can understand through the DNA, they are studied basis on the data, artificial intelligence, they are prescribing the best medicine to the doctor. And you can understand the same example. Let's suppose you and me both are suffering. I hope so these things will not be going on in the future. I'm just taking a simple example. Let's suppose me and you are just suffering from maybe fever, and at the same time we preferred a the same doctor prescribed the same medicine to both of you, but you easily diagnose with the medicine and usually get rid of from the fever, but I won't. Reason is behind that, there's an absorption of that chemical, because my DNA is not allowing my system to absorb that chemical. So means there's a DNA. If the doctor has that kind of study basis on the DNA, they can prescribe the medicine, then you can understand the efficiency of the medicine will be leap and bounds. So this is the industrial application of the data science. Now that's why companies are going for the data science. Now transportation, let's suppose we have 6 route to go, maybe in India to just Pune to Bengaluru. Let's suppose there's a company who's working on the data science. They just optimize the best route and just sending their trucks on the best route. Definitely they will send their belongings to the respective customers in less time. Their transportation cost is also less. They are utilizing their revenues to just expand their business. So you can understand that logistic companies are also using similarly to optimize their transportation. Then in the company, there's a problem which is related to the attrition. So let's suppose if the human resource manager has that kind of ability to take their decision by the help of the data, what are the things are really important for just sustainable our employees in the companies, then they can work over it. Similarly, there's a flight price prediction. So you can understand, let's suppose if you come to the India from maybe from different country to the Pune, and then you can see lots of airlines are providing the same service, but the fluctuation in the price is going on. If you see, there's a manual person behind it, or there's a machine, there's a flight price fluctuations controlled by the AI. Definitely there is a AI behind it. Basis on the demand, there's a surging in the price. So again, we can make that models also. And you astonish, in this particular course, we have designed 10 real-time projects, which is related to the aviation, which is automobile, which is the face recognition. Even in the web scraping, in the lifetime, we have to scrap the data from the Flipkart, which is related to the iPhone. And we have to make a database through the NoSQL, which is a MongoDB, and we will do some kind of sentiment analysis on that. So this course is all about the practical things. It's not about the theoretical things. We will do each and everything in the practical aspect. So these are the application. Now you can understand these are the industrial applications going on in the industry. So on tomorrow, we will do one live project which is related to the Zomato analysis. I'll show you, don't worry. Not today we will do, but on tomorrow we will do. So this is the way. So this is the data. This is a real time of data. If you are just familiar with the Zomato, so then you can understand. And this data is the Bengaluru data. So I worked, there's a project which is associated with the Zomato. So you can understand there is an analysis behind it. So you can do these kind of analysis. So how many restaurants are present in the Bengaluru who are delivering online or not? How many restaurants who are just providing the booking table through online or not? How many restaurants are just basis on the rating? So how many restaurants are getting 4 rating in the Bengaluru? How many restaurants in different locations? So let's suppose I am just want to just open my outlet, especially in the Bengaluru. So I can do some study, okay, which location have, or I can face that kind of competition. Which cuisine, in which cuisine I can face the competition. If I'm data scientist, I can definitely, okay, I can say in the BTM area, you can see there are lots of restaurants are present in the BTM area. So I really want to conscious about which cuisine are they providing. are just focusing on the North Indian. So should I open my outlet for Chinese cuisine? Is it new in for this particular periphery of the person who are residing near the BTM area? So we can do these kind of analysis. It's a practical kind of application. We can do these kind of application in our course. Got it, Javed? I hope you
Yes,
understood this thing.
thank you very much. Yes, it was quite useful. Yeah.
So rest of the part we will do on the tomorrow session. And the thing is that maybe I'm just giving that information to you because you are just a single person in this 6 to 8. So it's really impossible for me to just giving these tidings to a solely person. So
Right.
I'll definitely transfer to you to another batch, which is going on to be 3 to 5 IST according